Hi everybody, you know who we are. Let's get to work. This is sequence 2 of the line form, the 4-count sequence. You already know the application as it pertains to the square form. So let's talk a little bit about the 1 extra count and how this same technique can change an application for different parts of your opponent's body. So when the sequence starts, you turn the wheelchair, and then you're going to do the traditional double block. Now the traditional double block can block 2 punches, or it can block and grab a punch, which is what we're going to be practicing here in this sequence. Let me show you. So, he turns and gets set. He does his cross block and grabs. Okay? Now having grabbed me, if I start to pull away, I'm pulling across his body. So he pulls it into his X, and then drives it down here. And that overhead is just in case. And now that downward spike, instead of worrying about a knee, can attack my elbow. And if he gets it and pulls it in tight, it's not the same spiking elbow as the 3-count sequence where you pop the elbow out of the way. This one is leveraging the joint and trying to do damage to the joint. You're holding onto the arm and collapsing down and driving down with that elbow and hitting with it high up here on your forearm and crushing down on my joint. Okay? So, do it with the other cross block and things so they can see what happens when you grab me. So when he grabs me, goes into his X, and then drives me down. See how my arm starts getting rotated and he pulls me down to his chair? He can collapse his elbow in. He's straightening my arm and I'm turning. And he can lever me. Now if my arm's straight, he can crush down on the elbow. If my elbow's bent, he can use it to straighten my arm and straighten me out. Okay? And that straightening out drops my shoulder, and here comes the long punch. Wham. See that? Head high, strong long punch, attacking the side of the head. Your target points are temple, ear, point of the jaw, right? The knockout points along the jawline, and that's where you're attacking with this. So you already know that in the square form, you can be blocking a kick, spiking a knee, and punching out with this same technique. This is just another example of how our techniques are universal, and it just depends on where we employ them. If you can get a hold of someone's arm, destroy the weapon. Then they don't have that arm to use anymore. So if you block that punch and grab it, pull it down and destroy the weapon. And then follow up with what you need. So that's how we can take the same techniques in the same order and use them in a different way against our opponent. We simply use the techniques against what's there and destroy their weapons. Fairly simple lesson, guys. Thank you so much. Get training. After you get this down, you'll notice that throughout this whole form, a lot of times we are going to be grabbing and trapping and using our grip a lot in this form. There's only 1 or 2 sequences where we don't grab. So get to work and we'll see you in sequence 5, one of the sequences where we don't grab.